a good venture.
Well, you got to do what you got to do to
It's
get
a
by.
good enterprise.
Hey, no, I've been there too. Spent more than a few nights in a jail cell.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's unfortunate. I've never seen a
It's-
jail cell.
It was more for safety. You know, you get in deep with somebody worse than the cops, and then the cops come in and break it up, and they take you in for the night, the
For
week.
your safety or the other people?
For our safety. I mean,
okay.
they call it arresting you, they call it charging you, they fine you, but then you don't pay the fines, and everything happens again, and it's all kind of just like a big show for everybody else.
I can see you
Yeah.
doing that. I can see Skadai doing that more than you, though.
Well, they like
Sure,
they'll beat
ghosts,
you up
yeah.
to help sell it. They'll push you around. They never said a nice word to me ever, the cops. But you know, I knew they were looking out for me.
Really?
Yeah, when they slapped me in handcuffs and they literally picked me up and threw me in a van, like I knew they were looking out for me. They were
That sounds
keeping me away
really
from worse
endearing.
people.
Yeah, that seems like somebody that really cares about you would do that for
They
you.
interrogated me for 18 hours one time.
They must really like talking to you.
I think so too. That's where I got a lot of my charm. I learned it on the inside.
And while you guys are like having this conversation, and he's like looking up, talking to you, like every time like you're like really getting into it, you like start turning in the wrong direction, but Buzz just kind of like turns you back. And he's like,
Well, I'm up on his back, so I'm like gesturing over.
Yeah, so it's more like he's just trying to keep you from like falling off. but eventually you guys do make it down to the more lower hangars, and you do find the hangar that they were talking about. And you
Hanger left. You get it, Buzz?
Good one, boss. I like that. Hey, we're here. And
That wasn't a pun. I don't think he gets humor.
I really don't.
See? He admits it.
Correct response was humor. I hardly know.
But you see that in this much smaller hangar, which actually appears to be like a smaller vent, similar to the one that you guys had flown into, but for probably about 4 vehicles worth, and the one that is now kind of pulled out of the kind of parked area, and in the kind of middle portion, looks like it's a basically kind of like a you ever see like storm chaser vehicles kind of it's like that, but it has six wheels, 3 on each side, and you see that similar to kind of the train car that you guys were on, there's very thin kind of vent windows, which appears to have just some sort of like ballistics proof glass there, and the front is just completely sheer with protection.
I think
And
I've seen these before.
It's a sextoped.
Well,
Got
I
6
think they
wheels.
called it a Sugma at one point. Like,
and you see the the top has one or two antenna installations that are just kind of like already like swinging back and forth, and you see Stitch, who's just standing outside looking up at them, just seems to be kind of configuring it, while the Kasathis is carrying on supplies, and the other human, Carl, and Chet are just kind of now like getting done with checking the interior near the front, and they see you guys approaching, and Chet now comes out, and he's like, "All right, you guys ready to go?"
As ready as we'll ever be.
yeah, born ready.
All right.
Something deep for you.
She's not the most comfortable ride, but she sure as hell is secure. So if you throw your stuff in the back, we'll get going.
I grabbed Ted or Buzz. Just throw.
Buzz is pretty heavy.
I do it literally.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Okay. Try and make an athletics check as you try and throw Buzz. And yes, he is very much heavy.
Very much heavy.
Very much heavy.
15.
Okay. You drag, you kind of like pull Buzz, and at first he's like, kind of walking with you, and he like looks up at you, who's still on the top, and he, now registers that he's trying to put him in the back in like the storage compartment. He's like, I don't think that's what he meant, like not me.
Shut up, let's get in there.
So you climb into storage in the back. Do you?
I mean, why not?
Okay, fair enough. It is cramped. But
I'm a small boy.
He's a
you
small
know,
one.
he kind of like takes you off and like in a weird sort of like way.
Yes.
He steps
Cradle me.
up backwards into it, and he's now like got you just kind of like sitting there. So his like knees are up like by your ears, and you're just kind of sitting there. And I mean, for you, it's it's all right, but for him, he's like, you could hear like his like legs kind of.
Never heard him make that noise before.
It's a noise of happiness.
If I
Sounds
could,
like it.
if I could feel anything, I would feel very cramped and claustrophobic, boss.
I feel like you're doing a great job. Gold star, Buzz.
Maybe you should turn off those inhibitors so he doesn't feel that.
He doesn't feel it. He thinks he feels it. It's simulation.
Turn off the sim.
I'm not gonna take that away from him.
All right. Yeah. Give him the torch.
He's gotta fully experience the world.
And
True.
Carl, he kind of is looking at you, and he's like a older older guy. He looks like he's probably about his like yeah he's about 50. He looks really weathered, long, scraggly, kind of like slightly graying, like black and gray beard, and he's like looking, and he's like, you sure it's gonna be pretty bumpy back here?
Life's bumpy, Carl.
I've seen Buzz here. He can really throw a good gyroscopic sensation for Ted. So every bump is replaced with another different
Yeah.
opposite bump.
For every bump, there's an equal and opposite bump.
Sure.
So they equal out. So he's just riding there like a
I'll be
gimbal.
fine.
He's on a gimbal axis.
All
so
right.
he's good.
Buzz is taking the bumps.
Fair enough.
Where do you want
Kinda,
me?
Where everybody else sits up
Okay.
front. And you kind of get in,
Fun.
and it's
Bye.
like basically looks like 3 seats, like one in the front, one in the middle, one in the back,
I'll
and
sit
then
up
there's the
front.
storage section. It looks like basically like the inside of like a futuristic Escalade. It's not very like comfortable seats, but
Shotgun.
Yeah, like you
Uh,
sit in the driver's seat, like, let's go.
and
Just in the middle.
and as you're like going up, you try to get up to the front.
Yeah.
Stitch who's already, you like open the door, and Stitch is like sitting there, and he's like tapping on his pad, and he's like looks at you, and he's like, "What?
I'm gonna sit here.
No, you're not."
Yeah, I am.
He kind of like puts his hand on his gun, and he's like, "I know you're not."
You do it, you die.
And
I know where we're going. I'm gonna be the navigator. Get out.
make
off the line,
an
get off that
intimidation
ship.
check.
Oh, yeah, okay. That is intimidate.
That is a 17.
17.
Wow.
You see like the kind of like slightly singed like like whiskers along his jaw sort of kind of bristle, and he's kind of like readying his grip a little bit more on his gun, and you see Chet kind of leaning over, and he's like, Stitch, he's right. Get in the back. He's like, he looks at Chet, and he looks back at you. And as he's like hopping out, and he like turns, and he like points at the front dash area, which there's like this big large display, and it looks like it's sort of like a communications kind of station. It's like, don't touch a damn thing. I'm sitting right behind you, and I'm watching you.
Stitching in the back seat.
I don't say anything to him. I just sit down and buckle up, strap in.
And it's like a 5-point harness up here, so it's like super locked in. And you hear him kind of like cussing in Yosoki. You hear it as much as like just chittering. You know exactly what he's saying, and it's a lot of very rude
What is
things
happening up there?
about his mother and like relatives and the things that they do with each other. And it's just it's
Such
some
colorful language
Yeah,
for a
it's-
rescue mission.
but eventually the Kasathis who gets in the very back, and this is the closest seat next to you, and you can kind of see the top of his head, and the other human Carl, he gets in, and he's like, all right, we're good to go. And Chet's like, powers up the vehicle, and they start driving out. And you notice, fortunately for you, the way out of this thing is essentially a very steep kind of drop as
I'm used
it
to it by
as
now.
it rolls down in a very it seems like a steep 45 degrees, and it just kind of rolls off of the hive market kind of exterior and out into the desert, and you hear just the kind of shifting as like the traction kicks in, and Chet now kind of looks over. All right, well, where are we going?
Well, from where we are, what like, does it seem like we left north, south, east, west?
East.
You mean from like where you guys
The
are approaching?
actual- yeah.
The way that you guys approached was from the southwest, and from this, it's the hive market is pretty large, but you're easily able to kind of guess that you're probably on like the north side of the hive market. And the
Slavskar?
Yep, Slavskar Hills are in that southwestern direction in a very broad kind of southwest.
Do I see a map on his display anywhere?
Not immediately, but you could certainly ask him.
Yeah, do you have a map I can point it out to you?
He kind of, oh yeah, sure. And he kind of looks back at Stitch, and you hear, don't let him touch it.
I'm not touching anything.
And he
Stitch.
like reaches over and he like taps on the display, and it like brightens up, and you see now that there's a full map of the immediate area, and it shows the basically the majority of the like central hemisphere of the hive market. It's on the eastern side of the map, and you see like a long stretch that kind of displays as the Slavskar Hills. And you see the long gap of the nearly planet-wide stretching canyon that you guys were kind of traveling through.
I'm gonna reference my navigator thing on my display and just be like, I kind of scroll back to the hours where we were kind of like venturing out, and I'm like, well, seems like it was right here. That's where I killed my bird. That's why I put a little ping on my thing. That's where I had that killed.
It was a good kill.
It was a good kill.